Welcome to the AITR Alumni Podcast, a space where we bring inspiring voice, remarkable journey, and transforming experience from our very own alumni community. Today, we are honored to host Mr. Archit Upadhyay, an esteemed alumnus of Acropolis Institute of Technology and Research, Mechanical Engineering, batch of 2010 and 14. He is highly accomplished professional with 7 plus year of global experience in supply chain, planning, analytics, and strategic operation. Archit has worked with top global innovators including Lithos Energy, Tesla, and now 10x Genomics, where he is a senior strategic planning analyst. His careers showcase strength in data driven decision making, supply chain optimization, forecast, and continuous improvement. From earning multiple academic excellence award to being an Alpha Pi Mu Honor Society member and driving major supply chain advancement at Tesla, Arch's journey truly reflect passion, perseverance, and global impact. In today's episode, we dive deeper into his experience from studying industry engineering at Oklahoma State University, transmitting the life of US navigating the tech and energy industry. So sit back, turn in, and get ready to learn from our one of our AITR finest. So hello, sir.
Hi, Yathat. How are you?
Sir, fine. So, sir, my first question to you is could you share a bit about your journey at AITR and how your time in the mechanical engineering department shaped your career?
So first of all, thanks for having me. It's great to connect with some of the old acquaintance of mine, whether I have seen you or not. So it's great to be connected back to my roots. So yeah, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure being here and being able to spare some time just with the thought that anything that I will say today, might inspire or, might point you in the right direction. So I'll consider this podcast as successful. Without further ado, my journey at AITR was, I'll say that the smoothest 4 years of my life. I was first of all very fortunate to be surrounded with my friends who are more intelligent, more smarter than me. So I was the luckiest among the group because I was the one who was learning more from them than they were from me. So yes, I still consider that, as the best part of my life, at least the initial portion of my life that really shaped me into, how I think. Uh, I went across a lot of subjects while back in my bachelor's. I believe I graduated back in 2014. It feels like ages ago. Uh, but yeah, it was a great time. It really helped me, forming some basic principles that I still carry with me to this date. uh, when I got into mechanical engineering, I used to think that mechanical engineering is all about cars and bikes. uh, I couldn't be further far from the truth. It's much more than that. But I was lucky, that I had some, foundations, basically how to look into the systems, what is actually a system, and the basic principles that I have for operations and supply chain were basically formed at AITR. With the support that I received from the faculty, the level of knowledge that they had, the level of experience that they were carrying with them, it has been a really experience, really a good experience. So yeah, I still consider myself fortunate, having been given this chance.
Okay, sir. So, sir, since you told us about your experience in mechanical department. So can you share some of your experiences or project or any faculty interaction from AITR which influenced your decision making and guided you towards your that industrial engineering?
Yes, I still remember whether in my sixth semester or my seventh semester, I had this subject called operations research. Our HOD back then, Mr. Tapanjan, used to teach that subject. That was the first time when I came across that subject, and that subject really intrigued me. Part of the reason was that my father was also in supply chain, so from my childhood itself, I was quite interested in, how something that looks so simple from the outside, I knew that deep inside it must be very chaotic. So, in order to bring some calm to that chaos, I was really very much interested in that. And I was kind of okay with maths or math. Uh, and I felt that, by going into industrial engineering, I can apply some of the basic principles that we have in mathematics and apply that to the complex system in order to make it less complex for others. So, how to drive that efficiency, how to, improve any chaotic process. I was really very much interested in that. Moreover, I knew that if I go into industrial engineering, it's kind of, a jack of all trades who is a master of none. Whether, we consider operations as part of supply chain or industrial engineering, or, we look into manufacturing, that is also part of an industrial engineering department, or whether we look into data analytics, which was really very much up and coming back in 2015. It was still kind of a new concept where folks were finding, uh, the value in how much data analytics can contribute to a better to a particular betterment of a company. So that particular subject and the interaction that I had with the HOD back then, pertaining to my decision of continuing further studies in States, that really helped me go in the right direction. And I'm lucky that I made that decision. It has really helped me a lot.
Okay, sir. So, sir, since you said that industrial engineering is jack of all trade and master of none, but this jack industrial engineering is now is of very much importance. So, what's your take on this?
I sincerely think that it was still a backbencher before COVID began, because what COVID really showed us is how important supply chain, which is, one of the basic foundation of industrial engineering, is to the entire, to the entire product management. Any company that sells a particular product, whether it is a safety pin or to something as giant as an aeroplane, will require the to and fro movement of material. We really learned that if your supply chain is constrained, you cannot drive efficiency, you cannot drive cost savings, because now let's take into account various cost factors that is included in a particular product, whether it is from raw material procurement to the movement, to use selling the product to the customers, working on it. The only department which can save you the most amount is your supply chain. If you're managing them efficiently, you can make the most amount of revenue out of the cogs that you are putting in there. So, if you are efficiently managing your supply chain, you can, drive even greater profits. But the attention post COVID on supply chain has been immense. So I don't think that before that we might have even heard about, supply chain issues, leading to a product being pushed out, or, the cost being increased. So I'm really glad for COVID to happen. Sorry to say that, because that really, brought the supply chain field in the limelight.
Okay, sir. So, sir, how was your transition from India to US, both academically and culturally?
Uh, Well, what, yeah, that people will often tell you that culturally it was very difficult. I have heard many people, say that. But for me, culturally, it wasn't that bad. I uh, happened to have gone into, some of the best programs, particularly in industrial engineering, not only in the US, but in the entire world. It is considered, among the best with the faculty that we had there. I used to live in a college town, and during the college semesters, our college campus was like, let's say, about 1,500 acres, and we used to have 42,000 plus students surrounding us, during one particular semester. So you really didn't had any time to look into the culture. You were straight into it, and at the time before you knew it, you were already surrounded by a lot of students out there. Something that really helped me out is the fact that I didn't had a lot of money. So I had to work part-time jobs, which I was allowed to do. So I worked in my campus. I was used to, work at a deli in the college campus. It's somewhat similar to what Subway does. I used to make sandwiches. I am very good at making sandwiches because of that experience. Thank God for that. I am not at least hungry, because I can make my own sandwich at least. But it was a great experience because it really helped me, with the exposure that I was looking for as far as, culturally is concerned. Whereas academically, that particular portion really shocked me a lot, because I didn't knew, how much effort it will take for me in order to graduate from OK State. Not only, just graduate for the sake of graduating, but also the breadth that we were covering in one particular subject. Most of the subjects that I took were open book subjects, where in the examination you can take the entire book, you can take your laptop, anything that you'd like. I learned that even if I am given that opportunity of sitting with like three thick books, I will find it excruciatingly difficult to answer the questions. That really tells you, that how much of in-depth analysis and study that you need to do. So, I was very fortunate that I was surrounded by eight other fellow industrial engineering students who hailed from Indore. So, back at home, plus back in the class, or whether it was in my job as a daily it was a great experience. Then I had this opportunity of being a teaching assistant. So I I interacted with a lot of students as well, the first year bachelor's students. So that really, made me kind of fit like a missing piece of the puzzle in the entire scenario. So yeah, I'm really glad that it went smoothly.
Okay, sir. Sir, since you told incident about open book, so since AI and ChatGPT has come a far more ahead, so is the open book good thing? Since many students can use this AI chatbots and can answer the thing. So what's your take on this?
Uh, I think that people do these two things, which is kind of self, conflicting, but they either tend to overestimate AI or underestimate AI. Overestimate how is because they have started to now rely on it blindly,
Yes, sir.
and underestimate based on how good can they ask questions. People might think that, hey, if I frame my question in a certain manner, I will get the answer, at least the bare minimum that I'm looking for. That's unfortunately not the case. Your answers quality depend on your questions quality to begin with. Your question quality will be formed out of the principles that you have gained so far. So if your basic principles are not very well laid out, you will never be able to ask questions in a good manner. Many people have to spend months in order to ask the questions correctly and ask the correct questions in the first place. If that is still missing, then you are overestimating AI. If you somehow are feeling too good about yourself, thinking that you don't need those basic principles, those are no longer required, then you are underestimating AI in a certain extent, and you are overestimating your own efforts. So that is something that you'll always have to keep in mind, that always ask good questions, because good questions can lead to good answers. Bad and incomplete or wrong questions in the first place will never lead to a good answer.
Okay. So, sir, you have worked with Lithos Energy, Tesla, and now 10x Genomics. How did each role contribute to your learning and career path?
Yeah, I believe I started working in 2017, so it has been over 8 years now. Majority of my time I have spent at Tesla, about I guess roughly 6 years. I
Okay.
spent roughly 3 months at Lithos, but although it was just a small period, I was in a manager capacity over there, and currently I have been with 10x for over 2 years. So let me spend some time explaining to you about Tesla. So Tesla has been really like life changing. It not only you know gave me a brand to associate myself with, but it helped me look into something as complex, as challenging, uh, on a day-to-day basis. Those 6 years, often a time felt like like 20 plus years or so. In fact, back at Tesla, we used to say that our experience over there can be measured in dog years, which I think is like very close to the truth. So those 6 years, we really worked on a lot of challenges that we were seeing in terms of scaling up. I changed quite a few departments while I was there. So efficiency, speed, being very popular more often than not. When I used to come to my car in the parking, and we used to get surrounded by some media representatives asking us some of the questions which we were never supposed to answer. But it felt good being part of the limelight. It felt good, often at times whenever we used to just write Tesla on Google, we used to get like at least 50 different news reports. So it was good to be in the headlines all the times. Many a times that the work that you are doing is also covered, the world is seeing you in a certain way. So it felt good, it kept you on your toes. And I worked on most of the things which couldn't wait for Mondays. So it taught me a good lesson that time is the biggest gift that you can have. So I'm always looking back at that experience very fondly. With Lithos, although my experience was uh, rather a short experience, I had quite a lot of fun because I basically built a system from scratch on how a particular operations team should work like. Unfortunately, however, it may be, that tenure was cut short, but that led me to where I am right now. I'm, trying to, accelerate the world towards biology. So now I'm understanding, the complexities and challenges that are there in a biotech field where, you know, it is not as fast paced as a mass scale manufacturing company like Tesla or Lithos. Whereas here we are, what we are trying to do is, just to see how can we resolve some of the most complex, issues that the human body is facing or can face in the future, and how can we predict that at a better speed. So we are learning that supply chain should never be a cause for delays in terms of developing science. So yeah, my daily job is to make sure that I'm not the cause behind any of the delays in there. So uh, as long as that is done, then I'll consider myself as lucky and the job done.
Okay, sir. So since you told us that you worked at Tesla and Tesla is dream company of many students. So what core technology and analytical skill do you believe is essential for a student to be a part of Tesla?
If I'm honest with you, confidence.
Okay.
Uh, and perseverance, like you mentioned, although you might have said too many good things about me, some of them might not be true. At least my friends wouldn't agree with you. But that's how friends are. But first of all, I was rejected by Tesla, I guess, 17 times, once seven. Uh, but and here's a quick fact. I didn't know about Tesla when I came here in the US in back in 2015, August of 2015, I guess.
Okay.
And one of our professor back in chemistry department used to have a Tesla Model S, dark green colored. It was a custom made Tesla Model S. And I saw the MCU, which I know is MCU. It's called a main control unit. It's basically the central screen which actually makes your car working. So I saw that and I was very much fascinated by it. I Because I used to have that image of an electric car, what we used to get back in India, which was like a simple auto size electric car where even if three people can fit, you'll go to Khajrana to offer your all your prasads or anything. So I was really fascinated by the looks of it. I was particularly fascinated by the screen size. So I turned back to my friend who was walking with me. I told him that, one day I'll work for this company. And he started laughing. He started saying that, don't dream too big. Even if you get a job, that might be, sufficient. But so far till date, it's what I can confirm. I was the first Oklahoma State industrial engineering graduate to be selected at Tesla. But that came after 17 rejections. People will often, praise you in public for the work that you'll do in private. I went through a lot of tensions. I, went through a period where I was, constantly putting in efforts without seeing any results. But somewhere, deep inside, I knew that, I will eventually get it. And if you are confident in your skills, anything you can learn anywhere. There's no company that's big enough for you. There's no company that's small enough for you. If you're confident in your skills, you'll get it. And money is very, very much secondary. I know that some people might think that he's saying that because he has money. It's not like that. Because if I am confident in my skills, money will definitely follow. It's absolutely true what Amir said in Three Idiots, but it's also funny that that is like so accurate. Uh, so I, went on to give in my effort. So that was, one of the greatest skill. And everyone at Tesla were really, really helpful and intelligent. So I was surrounded by, I'll say that top 10% of the most intelligent folks on this whole planet. I had, a great privilege in attending several calls with Elon in them, and it was refreshing to see what is his perspective, what is his working style, and how he thinks on top of his feet. So that really helped me a lot, to learn some of the things out there from the best in the world. So yeah, it was a great but challenging experience. I lost almost like 40 pounds or so in just like 1 or 2 years. It was gruesome.
Okay, sir. Sir, so what tools, software, or platform you have most valued in your professional journey? Well, means used in your professional journey.
I think you might be shocked to listen this. Microsoft Excel. Uh, I am a firm believer that at least in industrial engineering or operations, if you don't know Microsoft Excel or at least the basic principle, you shouldn't come. At least if you are interviewing, with me, I'll straight away reject you. I'm being very blatantly honest, because what Microsoft Excel does is it shows you that your basics are, intact. But that only applies to, us in supply chain planning and industrial engineering. When I move into, beyond that in terms of analysis, I still think that Python is an extremely strong tool, and you should not, this is a warning with an asterisk, that you should not blatantly copy in the codes that in chat gpt is giving to you, because your first five chat gpt output will be total trash. You can simply put them in bin. You will have to debug again and again and again. But if you don't know what to debug, or what you actually want in, to begin with, or where to look at in order to make some changes, or what if somebody ask you that, hey, what are you doing over here? Because if you ask me, I can create a website tomorrow, but if you ask me, how did you create, what's the meaning of one particular line? So that's a bigger challenge. So the basic principle need to be formed first. I believe that your foundation matters more than any AI help that you are getting, because if your foundation is strong, then you can even challenge the AI output. uh, when I was completing my master's, I understood this in the very early portion, that data analysis will be, king in the future. So how to tackle that was, one of my main, topic on it. So I took these subjects related to OOP, or object-oriented programming, where I studied R and Python, and I specifically went for an extremely difficult project, so that I can learn Python in a greater detail. So if you know Python, you can do anything in Python. So I don't think that you need to go even beyond. Just for fun and for the sake of simplicity, you can even learn more about SQL, because that will also help you a lot. It's very quick. It's a better and faster version than Microsoft Excel, but I will still say that if you don't know Excel, you shouldn't think about industrial engineering.
Okay, sir. So finally, what message would you like to share with your current AITR students aspiring to build an impactful career globally?
Uh, that's a good question. And initially, I thought of, kind of a bookish advice. So I'll go little bit off the book and, not only give you, an advice that might help you in your career, but my goal is to help you in your life itself, because in my, I'll say like 30 plus years of life, I've seen a lot. Uh, and, if I'm being honest, and if I can say this out loud, the world is, not a kind place. It never was. It will never be. Uh, there will be some times where you lose people that you love. Uh, some days or many a times you'll fail at things that you once thought that you were born to do. Some days you'll wake up thinking that, if any of this even matters or not. Uh, but the secret is that, all of this part, forms part of your story. So I'll advise you all to, like, keep falling, uh, keep living, keep making mistakes, but keep getting back up, dust yourself off and keep on moving, because, uh, someone out there someday will draw some strength from the story that you are still writing. So, just keep on moving. But in the process, always beware of what you become in pursuit of what you want. Always have that in your hindsight. Don't, because some things that I went for in the very beginning of my life, cost me too much. Uh, I was so obsessed with a few things that I learned very later that the price was too big to pay. So, don't be so obsessed with some things that, that you lose your sense of reason. That it would cost you your friends. Don't be so obsessed that you'll have to compromise on your values and your virtues. uh, it's not worth it. Don't simply, sell out. uh, you should know your value, what you are going to stick with. And as long as, those things are intact, you have your relationships intact, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about, a lot in life. So every day, every failure has taught me more than what my success have taught me. So I am glad for my success so far, but I'm even more glad for the failures that I have had, because those have taught me even more as to how to do things in a certain manner so that I don't come across the failure again. So, each day better than yesterday should be your main goal.
So losing is important because when we lose, we understand how to win. And like it is said that every loss is a next step towards your win.
I completely follow your analogy, and whatever you say, I completely and firmly believe in each and every word of it. Yes.
So, so with that, we bring us to the end of this insightful conversation with Mr. Archit Upadhyay. His journey from the classroom and labs of AITR to leading strategic planning at cutting edge companies serve as a powerful reminder that clarify, consistency, and continuous learning can shape extraordinary career. From mastering analytical tools to adapting across cultures and industry. Arch's story offers priceless lessons for every student and young professional. We thank you, sir, for sharing your experience, challenges, and guiding us with such open openness. And to our listeners, we hope this episode inspire you to dream big, prepare smarter, and pursue opportunity globally. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to share it with your peers and stay tuned for more stories from unremarkable AITR alumni. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep making us proud. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me once again, guys.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so